Hey guys, welcome back to Feast with Me, where we're all about good food, good wine, and great conversation. So today I actually have one of, I would say, my favorite comfort food recipe, namely because it's really easy to whip up, very quick. If I'm hungry or feeling sad and feeling down, it is perfect for that. It really comforts you from inside out. We are making a rigatoni alla vodka, and this is one of these recipes that I tried in a restaurant. It's New York Italian. Nothing really authentic about it, but it's absolutely delicious. We're gonna start by preparing our tomato sauce base. We've got onions. I like to mix white and red. We're gonna use canned crushed tomatoes. I like to have 2 green chilies, 2 cloves garlic, some rigatoni pasta. Okay, so rigatoni is these round, long, stripy things, and the reason for this is you want the sauce to go inside. We'll need some parmesan, grated parmesan, good quality, please, and cooking cream, a little bit of vodka to drink. No, just kidding. Sometimes if I'm stressed, drink, cook, but actually this is just for cooking today. So as you can see, we have our pasta water that's already boiling here. You have to make sure that the water is quite salty, okay? So go generous with the sea salt, some olive oil, and make sure that the pasta water is boiling before you actually put the pasta in, okay? That's the best way to cook it properly and fast. Shall prepare our chili. Now remember, 1 whole, that's what I'm using. 1 whole and 1 seeded. Quick check on our pasta. Yeah, very hard. Takes a while. Rigatoni is about 12 minutes al dente. You also don't want to overcook it because you're going to mix the tomatoes. You're gonna cook it finely in the pan. So don't overcook your pasta. All right, I've heated up our pan here. Onions. Okay, then I'm gonna add the rest, the garlic and the chili. You can see I didn't touch the chili anymore. Now, I'm gonna add a little bit of herbs, okay? You don't necessarily have to do this, but I like to give a slightly smokier, earthier flavor to it. Bit of Italian herbs. I really like this. This is a staple in our house. Okay. Okay. Season with pepper. And basically, in Italy, this is kind of like my version of a sofrito. For this one, I'm doing with a chili, onions, and garlic. Now, beautiful color, slightly brown, slightly golden, softened, and that's exactly what you want. We're gonna open up our canned crushed tomatoes and just pour it in there. We're gonna bring the heat down to a medium and let that reduce. If you're in a hurry, keep it on high and it's gonna reduce really, really fast. But all the flavors are just much better if you let it reduce at medium heat, okay? While we're waiting for the sauce to thicken, check out how quick it is to make your own pesto sauce from scratch, and you do not need to ever buy again. before you pour out all the pasta and drain it, this is super important, guys. Don't forget to get the pasta water, okay? It's really, really important that you have the pasta water because it has all the starch from the pasta and that's what's gonna thicken our sauce. All right. So at this point, we are gonna throw in our vodka. I'm gonna toss in our pasta. Okay. That alone already looks so good, so good, so good. I could eat that alone. Then we have our pasta water. Not too much. We can always add again later. My secret ingredient for everything is butter. Yes, it's a lot, but it's really good. You don't have to use it, but it tastes so much better. Okay. No, this is not a diet dish, okay? Comfort food, rainy, sad, you're alone, you just want to eat something that makes you happy. This is what I eat. And this is why we actually make the pasta a little bit al dente and undercooked, okay? Because it's still cooking in the juices of the sauce. I'm gonna add a teensy bit more pasta water. Okay. I'm gonna add a lot of black pepper. Okay. And I don't know if you guys can see how that kind of paste or almost tomato jam thing that we did earlier suddenly turns into a sauce with the pasta water. And we will add our cooking cream. So hungry. Look at that, delicious. And last but not the least, of course, our Parmesan cheese. Good quality, please. Really, really good quality that you can find. So few ingredients that you have here. I'm gonna bring it off the heat. Doesn't that look perfect? I'm already really hungry and excited to eat this. Okay, then we season with a little bit of salt. Okay, not too much. You can always season it again later as you eat. Okay, perfect. Okay. It's so good. Especially when you get, sometimes I just like to eat the sauce with a spoon. Is that kind of weird? Like I'm watching my carbs, so I just want to eat the sauce. I'll have a few bits of pasta and just the sauce because I love that tomato cream and a little bit of that butter. And then it's spicy. Perfect, perfect combination. And just because you are dining alone doesn't mean you cannot have wine. So I'm gonna have a glass of wine. Okay. There we go. All right. Great. And yes, I like to eat straight out of the pan, especially when I'm alone. At least I don't have to wash extra dishes. Okay. So nice story about this pasta. I was in a restaurant in Hong Kong called Carbone, which is actually a branch of their New York restaurant. And what I love about this restaurant is that they have a real sommelier. And for me, it's such a great pleasure to have someone recommend a wine that you're not so familiar with, but really goes like beautifully with the dish, okay? And we were having their, of course, much more like delicious version of this with a homemade pasta, but this is really just as good. And he recommended a Valpolicella ripasso, okay? And so this is the same, similar. You've got lots of wonderful Italian wine suppliers here. It's unusual, not your usual Chianti or whatever, and they call it, it's like the poor man's Amarone, okay? Amarone can be very expensive, Amarone Valpolicella. So this is made with grapes that are a bit dried and then they go through it. So it's like the end part of the Amarone. Very rich, very nice. And because it's made with kind of those sun-dried ripened grapes. You have a bit of sweetness and dried fruit in it, and it goes very well with the spicy. Again, very rich. If you do want to get drunk, these are the wines that are quite high in alcohol content. So maybe this would be like a night in and you just want to decompress. And if you have it with this pasta and the tomatoes and those onions and the cheese, it's just really beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna have a bite for you. Cheers. There's nothing wrong with drinking by yourself for as long as you're celebrating life, okay? So good. One of my absolute favorites in the house, okay? This is rigatoni alla vodka with beautiful spicy chili, tomato, and of course that wonderful parmesan.